Welcome students to the fifth lecture on the chapter Wave Optics. In lecture 4, we discuss the phenomenon of interference. What do we mean by coherent sources? We compared the interference pattern produced on the surface of the water and that produced by the light, and then the experimental setup given by Thomas Young, that is Young's double slit experiment. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the theory of interference. So this is more theoretical. So I request you all to pay attention and have patience. Let us start with this diagram. Now here we have two parts, left and right. On the left part, we have two waves which are in phase. That means the crest of one wave overlaps with the crest of another and trough of one overlaps with the trough of another to produce the resultant wave with larger amplitude. Whereas on right side image, the two waves superposes such that the crest of one overlaps with the trough of another. So therefore, the two displacements cancels the effect of one another and the resultant displacement will be 0. So the disturbance is 0. So the case where we get the increased disturbance is called constructive superposition, and the one where the disturbance gets negated, 0, is called destructive superposition. So the waves can superpose constructively as well as destructively. So in the waves which superposes are in phase, it gives higher amplitude, and if the two waves of same amplitude, if they superpose 180 degree out of phase, then the resultant wave will have 0 displacement. Now taking these things into account, we try to understand the theory of interference. So interference is based on the superposition principle, according to which at a particular point in the medium, the resultant displacement produced by the number of waves is the vector sum of the displacements produced by each of the waves. Now here, if I consider the displacement of two waves which are in phase, I consider the angle between the two displacements should be equal to 0 because they are together. So the two vectors, if they are in same direction with 0 angle between them, then the resultant vector would be maximum. Now similarly, if two waves are superposing such that one is 180 degree out of phase with another, then the resultant vector of two equal and opposite vectors should be equal to 0. So thus one produces the constructive interference and gives the destructive interference. So we go with those cases to understand in detail. So we consider two sources of light, S1 and S2, placed at certain distance from each other. So the waves which are produced by these two sources, S1 and S2, at a particular point, where they meet or where they superpose, assume that if the phase difference between these two displacements produced by each of the waves does not change with time, then we say that the two sources are coherent. The two waves given by the two sources S1 and S2 at a point, if they meet, if the phase difference between the displacements produced by each of the waves, if it doesn't change with respect to time, we call the two sources to be coherent. So we need the sources to be coherent to produce the interference. Now let us try to understand the diagram given below. Here we have two sources which produces the disturbance. The disturbance have been shown in the form of circles. The solid circles shows the crest and the dashed circle shows the trough. So the possibility is that the crust of a wave can superpose with the crust of second wave. Similarly, the trough of first can superpose with the trough of second. So therefore, what we have here is the solid circles can intersect, the solid circles of one disturbance can superpose with the solid circles of the second source. Similarly, the dashed circles of the first source can superpose with the dashed circles due to the second. At the same time, the one more thing which is possible is that the solid circles of first can overlap with the or intersect with the dashed circles of second, and dashed circles of first can intersect with the solid circles of second. That means the crust and crust can superpose, the trough and trough can superpose, at the same time crust of one and trough of another can superpose. So due to these superpositions, it is a pattern. So therefore, along the line we get where the solids gets superposed gives us antinode, where the dash gets superposed we get antinode, whereas at those points where solid of one and dash circle of another superposes we get node. Now to understand in detail, let us go with this diagram. We have two slits S1 and S2 from which the two light waves is emanating, and these two light waves say superpose each other at point P on a screen. Now consider a point P such that S1P and S2P are equal waves that emanate from the sources S1 and S2 in phase, will arrive at point P. Now S1P is equal to S2P because they are equal waves. We say that the path length S1P and path length S2P is same. The displacement produced by the source S1 at point P is given by y1 is equal to a cos omega t, and the displacement produced by the source S2 at point P is given by y2 is equal to a cos omega t, where a is the amplitude of the wave, omega is the angular frequency. Now when these two waves, when they superpose at point P, the resultant displacement at point P is given as y is equal to y1 plus y2, which is equal to 2a cos omega t. The amplitude of the resultant wave gets doubled. Now since the intensity is proportional to the square of the amplitude, the resultant intensity is given by I is equal to 4 times of I naught, where I naught represents the intensity produced by each one of the individual sources. Now since the two waves superposes constructively, this is referred as constructive interference. There is one more case where we have again the two sources S1 and S2. The wave from S1 and S2 meet at point Q. But now S1Q is smaller than S2Q by the length of 2 times of lambda. So here we say that the path difference between the two waves is 2 lambda. We know that 1 lambda is equal to the length of a crust and a trough. Now since S2Q minus S1Q is equal to 2 lambda, we know if the path difference is lambda, then the phase difference would be equal to 2 pi. When the path difference is 2 lambda, then the phase difference would be equal to 4 pi. So hence we write the displacement produced by source 1 at point Q as y1 is equal to a cos omega t, and the displacement produced by the source S2 at point Q is given by y2 is equal to a cos omega t minus 4 pi. Now a cos omega t minus 4 pi is equal to a cos omega t mathematically. Now what we mean to say is the two waves complete their corresponding cycle, so therefore they will be in phase again, even though they have certain phase difference. the crust and the crust will end. The trough and the trough will end, or both of them will have the same position technically. So therefore, the resultant displacement at point Q is given by y is equal to y1 plus y2, which is equal to 2a cos omega t. Now again we got the similar resultant displacement. So therefore, the resultant intensity at point Q will be equal to I is equal to 4 times of I naught, where again I naught represents the intensity produced by individual source. So this is again referred as constructive interference. The two waves superposes in phase. Now there may be a point again R on the screen such that the path difference between the two waves from S1 and S2 is now, it is in terms of 0.5 times of lambda. It is in terms of something plus half lambda. A half lambda is something more. That means if one completes crust, another will complete its trough. If first completes the trough, then second one will complete its crust. It is something like that, which we can understand. So at point R, S2R minus S1R is equal to minus 2.5 lambda, which is the path difference. The displacement produced by the source S1 at point R is given as y1 is equal to a cos omega t, and displacement produced by the source S2 at point R is given by y2 is equal to a cos omega t plus 5 pi, which is equal to minus a cos omega t. The resultant displacement at point R is given by y is equal to y1 plus y2, and now in this case it is equal to 0. When resultant displacement is equal to 0, the resultant intensity will also be equal to 0. So therefore, this kind of interference is called destructive interference. This type of interference is called destructive interference. So if we try to bring everything what we have discussed this in simple form, we write it something like this. Consider two sources of light S1 and S2 at certain distance from each other. Let the phase difference between the two displacements be phi. We generalize it to be phi. If the displacement produced by S1 is given by y1 is equal to a cos omega t, and the displacement produced by S2 would be y2 is equal to a cos omega t plus phi. The resultant displacement y is equal to y1 plus y2, and when we solve it mathematically, we get y is equal to 2a cos phi by 2 into cos of omega t plus phi by 2. So therefore, the resultant intensity I depends on the phase difference. So I is equal to 4 I naught into cos square of phi by 2. Now for constructive interference, that is to get the maximum intensity, the phase difference should be phi is equal to 0 plus or minus 2 pi plus or minus 4 pi and so on, which is equal to plus or minus 2n times of pi, where n is the whole number. And path difference, for corresponding phase difference, we have path difference delta is equal to 0, lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda and so on, generally n lambda. The conditions for destructive interference, that is to obtain minimum intensity or zero intensity, is phi is equal to plus or minus pi, plus or minus 3 pi, plus or minus 5 pi and so on, and we generalize it as plus or minus 2n plus 1 times of pi, where n is the whole number. Similarly, the corresponding path difference for destructive interference becomes delta is equal to lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2, 5 lambda by 2 and so on up to n plus half lambda by 2. Now if we compare the theory of interference, the constructive interference and destructive interference, when we try to distinguish this, the resultant intensity is maximum for constructive, where it is minimum or 0 in destructive. Phase difference to obtain the constructive interference between the two waves at any point should be equal to 0, plus or minus 2 pi, plus or minus 4 pi and so on, in generally plus or minus 2n pi. And phase difference to obtain the destructive interference is plus or minus pi, plus or minus 3 pi, plus or minus 5 pi and so on till plus or minus 2n plus 1 times of pi. Path difference to obtain the constructive interference is 0, lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda and so on. And that is n times of lambda. And path difference to obtain the destructive interference is lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2, 5 lambda by 2 and so on. That is n plus half types of lambda in general. So to understand the concepts, I would suggest you to go through the chapter waves of class 11th. If you perfect yourself with waves, then you can understand these concepts that we discussed now much better. Thank you.